Hi, everyone. First of all, I have to give a little disclaimer. Sorry if you happen to hear a little bit of background noise. I'm doing some laundry. Go figure. So for today, we're going to be doing some notes on the metric system. Just check the table of contents and on Google Classroom to see what page these notes actually need to go on. And so before we do anything, you're going to need 4 different colors as well as your black, or I guess black pen or pencil. So just take a moment, in between you and someone next to you have like 4 different colors. No preference on what they are. If you really want to match mine, I'm going to be using purple, red, blue, and green. So take a moment, do that. Now, as the title indicates, these are notes about the metric system. They are not notes about the English system. Only 3 countries in the entire world. And actually, I'll just mention this here. This will kind of be maybe our first note. So only 3 countries on Earth. And those 3 countries are the United States, Liberia, and Myanmar. Even use the English system. The English don't use it. They're the only 3 countries that use the English system of, well, inches, feet, yards, miles, leagues, ounces, pounds, stones, quarts, tablespoons, pints, gallons, barrels. It's cups. It's just absurd. They're all different. They all convert differently, and you have to remember a bajillion numbers. And so we're just not using it. Essentially, it sucks and is confusing. So we're not using it. We're just not going to use it. Switching over to my black now, we're going to be talking about the metric system and using the metric system. And so we're going to look at how the heck the metric system even works. So the metric system, or in parentheses, we'll put SI. This is the lazy way you might see it on something. SI is for the International System of Units, or System International, hence the S before the I, not the I before the S, is what the rest of the world, which is 192 countries, uses. So is what the rest of the world, and by world I really mean 192 countries, just a little fun fact, uses. And it goes by tens. That's what makes this nice. It just goes by tens. You just add a 0, add 2 zeros, add 3 zeros, add 4, remove 7. You just go back and forth removing tens. That's all there really is to it. Now, this next part, you're going to actually need to make a staircase on the page. And this staircase is going to have 13 stairs on it, essentially. And so we can I'm going to skip a line. I'm not going to write up exactly against the margin. I'm going to go a little bit over to the right. And I'm just going to start dropping down, and we'll go, there's 1 stair, there's 2 stairs, there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So make your staircase, needs 13 steps. I'll start kind of labeling along. And so actually the smallest step we're going to look at, and just a heads up, this staircase is actually far bigger. We could make it like 30, 40 steps. But really this is the kind of limit of how much of the metric system we're going to learn. And so up at the top, kind of at the greater side, the largest unit we'll ever deal with is mega. And then if we skip down 1, 2, 3, 3 below that, we have kilo. So we kind of have 2 empty stairs between them. And then we have hecto right below that. And then we have deca. And then I'm actually going to switch back to my purple for a moment. This is the base. This is home base, safe home base. And what I mean by safe home base is the base units for the metric system are grams. That's what our electronic balance works in. So grams, that's little g in parentheses. Meters. So we have these meter sticks in our classroom. Liters. It's capital L. Maybe you go and you get a liter of soda or water or something at the store. And seconds. It's kind of nice. Seconds is the same between metric and English. Imagine we had a different unit for time. That would totally suck. So then we kind of keep going back down. I'm grabbing my black again, and we have deci. Oops, not di. Deci. And then we have centi. And we have milli. And then we're going to skip 2 steps and leave them blank. And then at the very bottom, we're going to have micro, like microwaves. Now, each of these gets its own symbol, actually. So I'll grab blue. Actually, I'll grab green. Changed my mind, sorry. And so mega, the symbol for mega, because scientists are really lazy, we don't have to write the word every single time. We're just going to put a big capital M. It's a symbol for mega. Now, because of that, milli down here at the bottom must be a little m. So that kind of makes sense. And then kilo is just a lowercase k. Hecto is a lowercase h. Deca is a D and an A. It's a da. There's no symbol for the base. Depends on whether it's grams, meters, liters, or seconds. Deci is just a little d. Centi is a little c. And micro, this is actually not an English or Latin letter. This is actually a Greek letter for micro, which is kind of an odd one. Maybe take a moment, just watch how I write it a couple times. I had this roommate in college, Dakota. We always wrote this differently. It's a Greek letter. This letter is called mu, not to be confused with the Pokemon Mew. But you write it kind of like this. So I'll do that one more time. You can just watch me kind of do it. Now, that's how I always did it. Actually, I'll leave those. Dakota would always just do a U with a little funny tail on it. So a little U with a tail. And then he'd go to the front and just do that. Like that. And so you pick a way that you want to do a mu. Doesn't matter which way you do it. But the symbol for micro is actually a mu. This little Greek letter. We can even write it here. Greek mu. That's how you spell mu. It's actually what that symbol is. That's mu right there. Now, I said all of these kind of different steps here go by tens. So you go up a step, you're multiplying by 10. You go down a step, you're dividing by 10. It's kind of the basic rule. There's one thing you remember from this staircase. It's going up a step, you multiply by 10. Going down a step, you divide by 10. So if you go up by 3, multiply by 10 times 10 times 10, which is the same thing as 1,000. If you're going down 3 steps, well, you're then dividing by 1,000. You divide by 10, then divide by 10, then divide by 10. So let's start kind of with our base and go up first. So deca is just timesing by 10. So deca, you just times by 10. Or that's the same thing as 10 to the first power. And then we go up a second step. Well, now we're multiplying by 10 twice. So that's 100. We've gone up 2 steps. There's 2 zeros. We went up 1 step. It was 1 0. And this is the same thing as 10 to the 2. So we've gone up 2 steps. We multiply by 10 to the 2. Or hecto means 100 is another way we could kind of look at that. Similarly, kilo means 1,000. Maybe you have gone to the doctors in another country, you've stepped on a scale or something, or you just see when you're driving in the car, it says km. Kilograms, 1 kilogram is 1,000 grams. Similarly, a kilometer, a kilometer is 1,000 meters. This is the same as 10 to the third. And I'm really hoping you're seeing that as we go up, the power of 10 just keeps increasing for every step, which also means that the number of zeros just increases every single time as well. Now, there isn't one for this awkward gap between kilo and mega, but if kilo is with 3 zeros, and now we've gone up, so follow me here. You don't have to write this part. We've gone up 1, 2, 3. We have 3 zeros. Then we're at 4, 5, 6, 7 spaces here. This is kind of an odd one to kind of look at here. So mega, we've moved the decimal over so many spaces that now then we've gone up 1, 2, 3 more beyond kilo, that now we must have 6 zeros because we've gone up 6 spots above the base. And so this is the same as 10 to the 6. This number is 1,000,000. So if you have a megagram, that means you have 1,000,000 grams of something. You have a megameter. Oh, it's 2 megameters away. Well, that's 2 million meters. That's it. That's all there is. So if you're going up the staircase, well, you're going to multiply by 10. That's it. It's kind of all there is. If you're going up, you're just adding a 0 every single time. And we'll look at a rule that sounds like it's back the reverse of what I just said. And we'll look at some examples and kind of see why, actually. So if going uphill or up the staircase, we add zeros, and we have like bigger numbers, going down the staircase must mean smaller numbers. So our base is really just 1, which is the same as 10 to the 0. I'm not going to talk about why 10 to the 0 actually is 1. But deci, if we're going down a step, we have to be doing 1 divided by 10. That's the same thing as 10 to the negative 1, because we've gone down a step. And so if deca was 10, deci is 1/10. If hecto is 100, centi must be 1/100th then, which is the same as 10 to the negative 2. Or 1 over 100. Similarly, hopefully you're spotting the pattern here. Milli is 1,000, which is the same as 10 to the negative 3. And so hopefully I want you to see the pattern kind of both ways. We can do it by adding or removing zeros, making the number bigger, or making the number smaller. Or we also can look at it just in powers of 10, and each step on the staircase represents a power of 10. And then we have 2 more steps. 3 more steps because we're on milli right now. So we're on milli and we go 1, 2, 3. So if we have 3 more steps, well, now we must be at 1 over, because now we're at 6 steps total below the base. And so if going up from the base to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to mega was 10 to the 6th, now we've gone from the base to, let me see, wait, did I do that right? We're at, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now 6 below the base. And so now we have 1 over 1,000,000. I was doubting my staircase for a moment there, which is the same as 10 to the negative 6. So now, this is kind of your secret key. This is your lifeline. This is something that you want to add later to a giant cheat sheet you actually get to make in a later unit. This is super, super, super handy. And it doesn't really do much, though, unless you understand the 2 rules. So let's look at the first rule. Let's look at, because we looked at upstairs first. So the first rule, and I'm grabbing red. I'm going to have an arrow going uphill. And the rule to go upstairs is to convert upstairs. Upstairs is the key word there. Move the decimal to the left. The number of steps taken. So what do you mean by convert? Well, if I said I had 200 meters, how many kilometers is that? Well, and don't draw this part. Don't worry about this. Don't look at it. Don't actually copy this. I just want you to follow it, so it kind of hopefully makes sense in all honesty. So we're starting here on the base. We always kind of start here, kind of on top. Maybe you do, in fact, kind of draw on this part. That we always kind of start on top of the base stair. So you're kind of standing here on the staircase. And if you were going from 200 meters to kilometers, well, you'd go 1, 2, 3. We're moving upstairs 3 steps. So I would take my 200 meters and I would take my decimal and I would move it 1, 2, 3 spaces to the left, the number of steps taken. So now it's not 200 meters anymore, it's 0.200 kilometers. We've kind of converted in fact here is kind of how we've done that, just as an example. All right. So if upstairs is moving the decimal to the left, downstairs must be moving the decimal to the right. So let's look at that rule and let's add that in red as well. So to convert downstairs, move the decimal to the right. Oh, that's right. The number of steps taken So we can look at another little example here essentially. And so let's say I was going from just, I don't know, my base units again. And let's say I had, I don't know, 200 meters again. Well, let's see how many millimeters that would be. Well, actually, let's just take that and turn it into centimeters instead. So we'd go 1, 2 steps. Really, we're going down 2 steps down to the centi stair. So we're on the centi stair now. And so my 200 meters, well, I'm taking my decimal, and I'm going to rewrite it this time, 200, and I'm taking the decimal, and I'm moving it 1, 2 spots to the right. So now I don't have 200 anymore. Now I have 20,000 centimeters is the idea here. And so really we're just practicing finding wherever we're starting on the staircase and then going down the number of steps to where you want to end or up the number of steps to where you want to end and then just moving the decimal that same number of steps. That's kind of really all there is to it. And so with our little bit of space left, I would like to do a little bit of practice here. I know we just did some, but let's actually look at a couple more. So let's just write practice here. I'll grab my purple, whatever my first color was, whatever your first color was. And so let's look at kind of a first practice. So let's go ahead and convert. So convert 1.0 grams to milligrams. That's little m, little g is the idea here. And so this is kind of a relevant one. If you get sick, you go to the doctors and they prescribe for you some medication, and your medication is 200 milligrams per tablet. And they say, well, take 2 of these twice a day. Well, you're taking 2 times 200 milligrams. That's 400 milligrams twice a day. So over the day, you're taking 800 milligrams of something, which is 800 1,000ths of a gram. So you're taking almost a gram by the end of the day. Kind of odd, kind of interesting to think about. And so the way we start this and we kind of set it up is you just write whatever you're given. Just write whatever the heck they give you. And then you're going to kind of sort of rewrite it. And I would recommend doing this part in pencil because you might not be able to erase yours like I can erase mine. And you have the number a second time. But now you have to actually go back and use this staircase. So I'm going to delete these kind of example stairs I did. And so I'm going from grams to milligrams. So I'm going from my base units because grams are base units for mass. And I'm going down to the milli step, well, the top of the milli step. And so I'm going 1, 2, 3. Going 3 steps downstairs. So we've moved 3 steps downstairs, and the rule here is that to convert downstairs, move the decimal to the right, the number of steps taken. And so I take my decimal and I move it right, 1, 2, 3. And so now I put my milligrams and 0, 0. So it's no longer 1, it's actually 1,000. It's 1,000 milligrams until we convert. That's it. Let's look at another one. Convert, let's say 10,000 micro, that's a little symbol mu again, microseconds to seconds. Okay, so same step, just write the only number that you were given. So we just write out our 10,000. We can put mu s for microseconds. And now we're essentially going to rewrite it, but without the units, and we have to kind of move the decimal some way or another. So now I'm just blindly writing it again. You don't know even where we're moving the decimal, but everyone should, by the end of this, be comfortable saying, oh, well, I just write what's given, and then I write what's given a second time, minus the decimal, minus the commas, and I need to go use this staircase again. So we're starting over now on microseconds. So we're starting on the micro staircase, and we're ending on seconds, so the base. So we're starting here, and we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We move 6 steps to the left and uphill. So to convert upstairs, move the decimal to the left, the number of steps taken. And so my decimal was over here, but I have to move it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I actually don't have a number here. I have to plug a 0 there. So this actually, I'll just show it again. It actually is 0.010000 seconds. And if I was a little smarter, I would have moved this a little farther to the right, and then I could have had a 0 point there to kind of do that. And so really, again, my decimal, and I'll just do it kind of in yellow here. My decimal was here. We moved it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because that was how far we had to move on the staircase. And so we'll look at one more example here, and then I'm gonna kind of look at the sheet we should be doing next. And so we have here convert to capital M, little m. What the heck is that? Mega milli? No. The first symbol is the staircase, and then the second symbol is the unit. So the second unit is meters, and the first one is mega. So we have 2 megameters, 2 million meters, 2 millimeters. So we have megameters to millimeters. Okay, so again, I'm just going to write what I'm given. And now we can look here and kind of see, I'll put my equal sign. We're going from megameters to millimeters. So I'm starting over here on top of the mega step. That's kind of neat, the mega step. I'm standing on the mega step. And we're going all the way down to milli. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to the base, but we're not done yet. 7, 8, 9. 9 steps down the staircase to the milli stair. So 9 steps. And so we converted downstairs. So we need to move the decimal to the right 9 steps, because that's how many steps we took on the staircase. So moving it to the right means the number is going to get wicked big. So I can put my 2 here, and then I can just take my decimal, which we know is here, and move it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Sorry, I was looking off a little bit. Got a little distracted there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And now my decimal lives here, and these are millimeters. I could erase all this nonsense, and we could go there and there and there. And so we have 2 billion millimeters, which is kind of ridiculous, but go figure. That's kind of it. So overall, we use metric system because it's easier than the English system. It goes by tens. We use this staircase, which tells us kind of all of the different symbols for the metric system. It just goes by tens. Each one has its own weird symbol, which is in green here. And then it has its own kind of representative power of 10, whether it's 10, 1,000, 1 over 1,000, 1 over a million, and that's it. And we just have to know these two rules to convert along the staircase. And so if we're all kind of caught up, the next thing that you're actually going to be doing is looking at this Metric Mania conversion practice. And so really, all you're doing is filling in these blanks first. So convert to a bigger unit, move the decimal. So that's if you're going up here, what do you have to do? If you're moving down here, what do you have to do? So move the decimal point, and I hope you say to the right. And if you're going uphill, you move the decimal point to the left, and hopefully you just write the word left here and the word right there. Awesome, great. And then this isn't all 13 steps that we put, but you can fill in the top 3 above the base unit and the lower 3 above the base unit, kind of as a little bit of review. Just tell me what the unit is, put the symbols. That's kind of that. And then you're actually filling out these conversions. And there is a back. There's kind of a bunch going on here. And so you just need to use the staircase method that we just did. And so it might help to kind of have our staircase actually looking at it. Hopefully you can kind of look at yours. If we're looking at this together on mine, maybe I can cheat and go over here and take my staircase. And I don't know if this will work, but we can give it a shot. And maybe we can just paste it in right there. Sweet. So we kind of have it for reference a little bit. And so if I wanted to go from milligrams to grams, well, I'm starting over here on the milli stair, and I'm going 1, 2, 3. I'm going 3 steps up to the left. And so I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to rewrite my number here, and I'll just do the first one of these with you. So 1,000. We said we went 3 stairs up to the left. So that means I need to take this decimal and move it 1, 2, 3 to the left. To convert upstairs, which we're doing, move the decimal to the left, the number of steps taken. And so really, this isn't 1,000 anymore. It's just 1.000. All right. Similarly, if I was going from, I don't know, kilometers to meters, well, that would be going from kilos, 1, 2, 3 down to my base, because meters is a base unit. I have to move the decimal to the right 3 spaces. I would just rewrite the number and put it to the right. So I hope these first 6 kind of make a little more sense. And now this next chunk, it's going to be kind of a lot of these actually. There's some on the next page as well. So I wanted to actually write one of these out and show you how exactly to do these. Now, I'm going to spot one right away. And it's that you need to check and see which one is bigger and see if there needs to be a lesser than sign here or a greater than sign here. Maybe they're the same thing, then it'd be an equal sign here. And so all you're going to do is convert one into the other. It doesn't matter if you convert centimeters to meters or if you convert meters to centimeters. Let's just do the centimeters just because that's kind of what it gives us to start. And so I'm starting on the centi step, and we're going to meters, and I have to go 1, 2 to the left. 2 to the left. So what the heck does that mean? It means that my 600 centimeters, I take the decimal and I move it 1, 2 to the left. So it actually equals 6.00 meters. So I am in fact going to have to throw a equal sign in here. That's it. I'm just asking you to convert one unit to the next and see which one is bigger and see if a lesser than sign goes here or greater than sign or an equal sign. And that's really it. That's all there is. And then you go to the back page, and it's having you do the same thing. Fill in the symbol for each of these. Oh, liter. You just go, well, liter, that's a boring one. Let's do milligram. We already knew that one. Little m, little g. Milli is the first symbol, and then gram is the second symbol. So that's it for those. And then try these conversions. Just go back between the two. Use that staircase. That's all I'm really asking you to do. And I believe your notebook should be organized so that your staircase is on the page on the right of your notebook, and this is on the left page of your notebook. So you should be able to look at your staircase at the exact same time and kind of go between these essentially. And so that's it. Just convert between the two and then do some more of these greater than equal signs at the end. And that should do it. So thanks for listening. Hopefully that made sense. If not, let me know what questions you have, and good luck.